Coach, you talked about, but they could easily be 5-1 right now. He gave you guys a tough game here, 2015, but obviously he's going through a tough time right now. Think the criticism of him is fair or unfair right now?
That's not for me to say. You know, I watch their team play. They compete hard. They play hard in games. They put themselves in position to win every game that they played this year except one. So we have a tremendous amount of respect for the games that we've had in the past, what we've had to defend, how they play, the toughness they play with, what it's going to mean to them in this game. Because they're in the situation that they're in, you could make a case that, you know, they'll come in here and play great, play, you know, really, really well, try to prove something. So I don't think that we should worry so much about what they do, but really should be worrying about what we do in terms of how we prepare, how we play, and make sure that we're going to be at the best of our game and not take all these external factors of what they're going through and think it's going to have some impact on the game in a positive or negative way, but focus on what we need to do.
Hey, Coach. Earlier this season, we spoke to your players about the Ole Miss game feeling like a rivalry because it's been close as of late. Do you kind of take that into consideration when you talk about rivalries? Do they need to be competitive, in your opinion?
Well, I think this, if you're talking about this one, it's been very competitive. I can remember two games that we had here. One, a year when we won the national championship, we had to block a field goal to win the game at the end of the game. And the last time we played here, we had like a 7-point game or whatever, a very close game, you know, right down to the end. So I don't necessarily, I think that players get up for games because of the competition and maybe the games that they've had with them in the past. I think when you have rivalry games that have tradition associated with them for many, many, many years, that there's a different kind of motivation for those kinds of games. But I also think that the two games that we've had here lately, same kind of situation. You know, their team is pretty much a 500 team, and we're pretty much where we are, and we struggle to beat them. So, you know, I think you all, like always, you know, you're always looking for all these assumptions that you make because they have issues, they have problems of some kind of way. Why can't that be a great motivating factor for them and they come and play their best game of the year? Y'all ever think of that? Or just, you know, so you can look at the glass half empty or half full, not to get to the Coke bottle. You know, obviously this is a rivalry game. It means a lot to a lot of people, including the people in this organization and the people that play in this game. We've had some real struggles at times with this team, and this team we have a lot of respect for. Butch Jones has done a nice job there, and this team could be very easily 5-1. They lost 2 games on the last play of the game, basically, or came down to the last play of the game, whether they scored or gave up a score. You know, they've got good players. They got a really good running back in Kelly, who's one of the top rushers in the SEC. Their defense, and especially the secondary, has played really, really well. Top-ranked, you know, pass defense, one of the top-ranked pass defenses in the country. So they do a good job with the scheme on both sides of the ball and on special teams. So, you know, we have a lot of respect for this team and what we'll have to do and how we'll have to play to be able to have success against this team. But in rivalry games, you know, you can pretty much throw out the record book, throw out the records of the team, throw out what happened last year, throw out what happened so far this year, and make sure that you're ready to play your best game when you play in these types of games.